You have to switch and take every obstacle in your life. If you have problems, congratulations, you have a head start, and turn every obstacle into an opportunity. And here's how you do this. You write down today, not tomorrow, today, right now, the second this video stops, 3 problems in your life. It's that simple. Today I was in traffic, I hated that. My mom called when I was supposed to take my medicine. I don't remember whether I took my medicine or not. 3 basic problems. But you do this every day for a month. And what that exercise forces you to do is exactly what you were talking about. Is, well, I wrote the obvious ones. What is a problem that I didn't think about because I'm so used to doing it the same way and not thinking about it, I didn't see it as a problem. For you to make it through 30 days, you have a list of 90 universal problems. And the 2 that I gave as example was, 2 guys sitting in traffic in Tel Aviv going, man, I hate traffic, I hate this commute. Wait, the phone company knows your car's over there and my phone's over here, so they'll tell you to go right, me to go left. And that was the basic for Waze, sold for $1 billion, okay? It was looking at a problem that we all complain about everywhere, and they solved it very simple. And you don't have to be an engineer. The pill one was another reader that I heard from that took a Happy Meal watch, put it on a pill lid, so every time you close the pill bottle, it shows you how many minutes since it's been open. Oh, I opened it 4 minutes ago. Yeah, I took my pill. Oh, it's been 8 hours. I didn't take my pill. And now there's a Bluetooth version so that it can alert me to say, Grandma, you didn't take your pill, and if she figures out why, she'll stop taking, so you call more often. But the whole point is, by the end of this month, you'll have 90 ideas. Then sort on 2 axes. What impacts the most people? Okay? They forgot my anchovies on my pizza again. It's not a big problem, Healthcare. Oh, that's a big problem. And then, what are you most passionate about? Because it's not going to be easy. There is no easy path where you just sit down and, 30 days to thinner thighs. I'm not selling snake oil here. I'm not selling a book to make money on a book. I'm trying to make a better world by inspiring people to do the heavy lifting. But if you try, then what's absolutely going to happen is that idea that you start with, turns out it's not a great idea. But you'll go farther into the jungle, farther into the woods, exploring that than anybody bothered to. And that's where you discover the gold. That's where you see that nugget of, I wouldn't have seen it from the outside. But now that I'm this far, I now see what it is. And it's those pivots that all the big businesses that you take for granted today started at that moment. Nobody walked into VC. Well, there are a couple people. Here's a business plan, and we're going to follow it page by page. Smartest man in the world, Reid Hoffman. He can do that. The rest of us mere mortals will stumble through it by persistence and insight. We all benefit from the creativity that you haven't shared with the world yet. You're the only person that lived your life, and it's taken your whole life to get to this point. So put it to use. Can rewire your brain. And it's as simple as having a positive attitude. It sounds like tree hugger, but read the book and there's actual science behind it. If you start off each day with the positive affirmation, today can be better than yesterday, and I have the power to make it so, you're literally releasing endorphins on your brain. It lights up the synaptic nerves like lights on a Christmas tree, and suddenly you will close more sales, you'll be more creative, you'll have new ideas, as opposed to, as a culture, we've come into the let's complain. So there's people that come into the office every day, oh, this sucked, you won't believe what happened, oh, the traffic, and you shut down, and so that opportunity could be right in front of you, and you won't see it. So it's all about changing that brain. So when I was that small kid, I was smaller than all the other kids. I sucked at sports. I wasn't the last one picked at the team. They just didn't even bother, okay? So fast forward today. I know nothing about sports. I have never watched anything. I just don't have that in my thing because as a small kid, I had negative reinforcement about it, okay? So what we do with kids at the youngest age, what we expose them to of what it means to be successful. Successful isn't about money. Successful isn't about being smarter or right. Successful is about overcoming. A child learns to walk by failing. School systems have to teach people to overcome and congratulate them for overcoming. And then they can decide. Because the new world isn't about having knowledge that you carry around. It's having access and knowing what to do with new information and how to process it. Because unless we can look at the new variables, everything you've learned goes out of thing. And the example that I use for people that just don't follow this is, would you go to a doctor my age that told you before you came in, I haven't learned anything or read anything since med school? staff. You don't need a full-time office. It is 95% cheaper to launch a business today than it was the year 2000. The infrastructure's there. 6 billion consumers, one click away. If I'm right for a nanosecond, I can become a billionaire. And when you look at people that just had new ideas but not fully done anything, Oculus Rift or Instagram or, YouTube, these are all things where people became billionaires before they made a penny. There are tons of millionaires in Silicon Valley that never made a profit. So that old model of I'm going to buy it for a nickel, sell it for a dime, and got to figure out, not necessarily. Wait, there are other people that once you prove the idea, let them scale it. Okay? People laughed that Zuckerberg paid too much for Instagram. Really? He's now making a fortune monetizing it. So what's the difference between you, the listener, you, Julien, or me, and the self-made billionaire? They have the same 24 hours in a day that you do. Okay? They have access to the same audience and technology you do. And they just decided to pursue something, And so what was bizarre in finally writing the book and talking about is how many people I worked with over the years that I couldn't tell you that these people were going to become billionaires or that I'd have 40 friends that became billionaires. That's insane. My dad was a public school teacher in Philadelphia, right? I lived in a row house. You owned the front wall and the back wall. You shared your side walls, right? I didn't know what wealthy was. I didn't understand what the world was. And yet, many of these people didn't set out to become wealthy. They just had an idea. None of us saw these companies growing into what they were. None. If anybody told you they saw the internet was what it is today, they're completely full of it. Because the other side of it is, I can tell you in every one of the famous companies there was a board meeting where, should we cut the funding? Should we shut this down? It isn't working. Before they pivoted to, oh my God, look how smart we are.
Yeah.
And I hate it when people go, oh, I had that idea 3 years ago. Really? And what did you do about it? Right? Ideas don't make you rich, right? People have dreams. Put a deadline on that dream. Then it becomes a goal. Then work backwards from that goal. Go through that process. The worst thing that will happen is you'll see yourself in a different light that will give you a little more strength, a little more opportunity, because the purpose in life is to live a life of purpose. You won't live forever, but what you create can. What you can influence can. So whatever that may be, even if you're not money motivated, there's some big problems. Access to clean water, global warming, name it, okay? Just address it. I talk about teenagers that came up with cures for different cancers. Why they're teenagers? I mean, it is humbling because just as you can spend all day watching TV or cat videos, you can also get 3 clicks away to every piece of research on any topic. People will share knowledge with you. There are patents that people will let you have for free to monetize. NASA has a whole site of them. Take these, make money. So put away your excuses. Use your New Year's resolution for a new year, okay? The best time to launch your business was a year ago. The second best time is now. So thank you, Julien.
Perfect.
But if you wake up with, I know today can be better than yesterday, and I have the power to make it so. As tree-huggy, pseudoscience as that sounds, that will set you on the path of thinking about opportunities as opposed to obstacles.
Yeah.
So you start looking at, oh my God, I was in traffic today. This traffic sucks. Oh my God, that's a problem. How do we solve traffic? What's different about the world than 10 years ago? Wait, the cell phone company knows my phone is in my car and knows your phone's in your car. If we told you to go left and me to go right, we could solve traffic. That's the basic of Waze.
Yeah, Waze, the great Israeli app, yeah.
So one of the exercises I ask people to do, it's very simple. I can guarantee you more deal flow than anybody in Silicon Valley, any VC in the world. All you have to do is write down 3 problems that you have in your life. Just today. Just come up with 3 problems. I was stuck in traffic. I forgot to take my medicine. Okay? Okay? Do that for a month. The first day it's easy. But to do it for a month, you really start having to pay attention of what were you assuming was immalleable. That's just the way it is. There's always traffic, right? I can't do anything about it. Oh, I forgot to take my medicine. That's not a problem. Oh, yes, that is a problem, right? To get 90 ideas. So at the end of the month, you have 90 ideas that are problems. Now just sort them by what affects the most people and what are you passionate about, because it's going to take you a few years. and you now have your billion-dollar idea.
So somebody watching, make sure I love practical stuff like that, and I feel like what happens is, like you said, you should go through that process. The first day it's easy, the first week it's easy. 2 weeks in, all of a sudden, like you said, you're confronted with things like, it's too hot. My thermostat, actually one of mine is the air conditioner is loud, right? And eventually, if you live here in the house, you just like, oh, it's a nice house, and you avoid it. But then you start going, can we make air conditioners that are more quiet? Hotels, if you sleep next to the ice machine, they're loud. All these little things are opportunities for somebody to make a $10 million company, $100 million company.
I'll give you one just out of what you just said that somebody did. We all talk about the Internet of Things. That's things hooked up to the Internet. What does that mean? It sounds so nebulous. And the first generation of things that are out there are like, we'll let you know when your eggs are spoiled. They just seem stupid, okay?
Right.
Hotels. A hotel's got 1,000 rooms. You know the grill that the air conditioner blows the air out, that everybody had? You have the vents, we all do. What if that was Bluetooth and motion detector? So put a little electronics. If nothing moves in that whole hallway on the floor, in that whole room, it shuts them. What does that save in energy?
Oh, yeah. Immense amount of money.
Billions of dollars across the thing. And if anybody's coming down, it opens, okay? Simple. What's that cost? It pays for itself. You can do the math and go to any hotel and go, wow, this will solve another. I heard from a reader this week, and I can't out his idea, but he was doing the 90-day thing, and he's really proud of it. But he had a family tragedy that happened, right? Yeah. And he had to run and stop and drive to another city and deal with something in his family, and that was his winning idea.
Yeah.
During it, he realized, wait a second, a lot of people have to face the same thing and da-da-da. And he goes, I now know what my business is because I couldn't find a solution to this problem that came across me. And rather than be frustrated, oh my God, here's this giant problem, I go, oh my God, here's this amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you have problems out there, congratulations, you're way ahead of those people that were born with a silver spoon. And that's why you see most of the world's wealth right now isn't being passed down.
Right.
Okay? It's being
Bill Gates isn't
created. The average, self-made billionaire today, is doing it with no relationship to any means of bet on crooked games, ones that I know I can affect the outcome. I always ask the question when anybody wants an investment, why me? If I can't answer why me, why I'm the best person to move the thing, take money from somebody else.
Yeah.
But here's what you do. So the amount of VC capital from 2014 to 2015 doubled.
Yeah.
Okay, $40+ billion are out there. That is now being eclipsed by crowdfunding.
Yes.
So there's more capital. There's no excuse to capital. Everybody has to raise it. There's a process. But start thinking about it differently. That VC, that angel, whoever you're getting the meeting with, they want to give you money.
Yes.
That is their job. The only thing stopping them from giving them money is the stupid stuff that comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
So don't say the stupid stuff. What a lot of people don't understand, and I get so frustrated, they'll give a pitch. I'm coming out with shoes. There's 6 billion people, that's 12 billion feet.
It's like the Ollie G glove.
Like, who cares, okay?
Yeah.
Focus on something that's attainable and real. When you raise money, it's the only time in your life where you get to write all the questions on the test. Okay? I think the CEO's name should begin with letter J. I think his last name should rhyme with damn it, okay? And you can write this test where the only person that could win is you. So if you take Groupon, a business model I never believed in, and I called it Grouponzi, but he followed the right way to raise money, which is he went after Chicago, one market, proved it in one market, and said if I had this much money, I could then go national and worldwide. So figure out what's a measurement that makes it look like you have traction, and the money will follow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit like Genghis Khan. You go and you conquer one, you get market share, if you want to use business terms, you get market share in one area. Peter Thiel's a big believer in somewhat monopoly level. Facebook starts as a monopoly in Mark Zuckerberg's room. 2 or 3 of guys, they want to meet people at Harvard, boom. Then it moves to 60% market share, but only in one place, at Harvard University. Dominates there. And by the way, as this is going on, there's MySpace out there, which was the 800-pound gorilla. Actually, some of my friends here in LA started MySpace. But Zuckerberg was like Genghis Khan, and he was coming for them. And he raised capital in each of those stages, a little bit of capital. One guy put in, I think, $1,000 and best $1,000 he ever invested in his life. And then he went to just